Welcome to Safe Money Retirement Radio with your host, Tim Wood. Tim is a certified financial fiduciary and a no-market risk retirement and income specialist, and the owner of SafeMoneyRetirement.com, primarily serving Western North Carolina, East Tennessee, and Southwest Virginia. But he's sought after nationally for his expertise in helping people secure their retirements. Mr. Wood is a licensed life insurance professional in multiple states and specializes in working with people who are near retirement and those who have already retired with wealth management, income planning, and asset protection strategies. And now, here to talk with you about no market risk retirement planning, your host, Tim Wood.
Welcome to Safe Money Retirement Radio. I'm Tim Wood, an asset and retirement protection specialist. As most of you know, I released my book, Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success, back in 2022. And I'm thrilled to have journalist and podcast pioneer Doug Sandler with Turnkey Podcast Productions with me today to discuss the second part of the second section of Chapter 8, Safe Money Part 3, The Key to Peace of Mind.
True to the company name, true to the book name, Safe Money Retirement. And you get a copy of Tim's book. He's offering it to our listeners absolutely free. Just log into safemoneyretirement.com or call 844-905-SAFE right now. All right, let's get back into the part 2 of this chapter 8. Now, you say that people can make withdrawals from these growth plans. How does that exactly work?
Yeah, most of these growth plans, it depends on the plan. Of course, there are a few out there that you can't withdraw any. There are some that you can just withdraw the interest. There are some that you can withdraw 5%. There are some that you can withdraw 10%, and this is every year. So again, that goes back to, we have to determine what's the purpose for this money, how much are you going to need, and that's all part of the planning process. But basically how it works, these different products, if you decide you want to make a withdrawal, depending on what it is, let's just say it's a product that you can take 10% out, you basically can take 10% out every year. It's exactly what it sounds like. And it's a simple form that you would fill out, whether you just wanted a lump sum or whether you wanted them to send you the maximum amount they could every single month. So you got up to 10% at the end of every year. There's a bunch of different ways that we can do it, but it's real simple to set up those withdrawals. It's just a simple form that my team would work together with my clients. Like, for example, if you got something and, 2 years later you needed a chunk of cash, you would just call me and we'd figure out based on what accounts you have, what can you take and how can you take it, fill out the form. Literally, we would fill it out for you, send it to you. All you need to do is sign it. We'd send it to the company and you would get a check. It's that simple.
Are there any other benefits that these growth with no losses plans have in effect?
The only other real benefits, of course, there are already huge benefits, right? You can't lose any. In most cases, there's no fees at all. You're getting growth. But the other benefits that these include, yes, they have some that you can withdraw, but almost all of these plans have a couple of benefits built into them. And that is if you ever get in a long-term care situation, or if you ever get a terminal illness diagnosis, you now have access to not whatever the little bit was, the 5%, 10%, just interest, whatever, you now have access to the whole 100% of your account. Mm-hmm. So if you've got your money in one of these and you're thinking, my God, I might, hopefully I don't need long-term care, but what happens if I need long-term care in 4 years? Then you have access to all of that money if you want it with no fees and penalties. That's built into it.
Are there any disadvantages to plans like this?
I would say the biggest disadvantage is probably the same disadvantage as when we talked about the income plans, is when you put your money in these, unless you get in a long-term care situation or unless you get a terminal illness diagnosis, there's really the only way that you can get to the money is just by whatever that free withdrawal amount is. So whether it's 5%, most of these things are 10%, some of them are interest only, whatever that is, you can pull that. But if you think you might need more than that, that would be the disadvantage. So I tell people, listen, you need to have a slush fund. You need to have an emergency fund. Yeah. If you're a real estate buyer, then you need to have a bigger fund than most people. Whatever you need, let's keep your slush fund to the side. This is something to put in that you just want to grow with no chance of losses. That yes, you could pull some from it if you want to, but that's not really the main point of it. The point of it is to put something in there, grow it, no losses, no fees, and just let it go. And then at some point we'll do something with it.
Lastly, before we wrap up on this chapter, you say that fixed annuities are a lot of things, but they're not investments. Can you help explain that a little bit?
Absolutely. People, this literally almost every single person that comes to talk to me, talks about, well, if I'm going to invest in an annuity, if I'm going to, do this, you're not investing in an annuity. You're purchasing an annuity. There's a big difference. The word investment means that, yeah, you've got a chance to make growth. That's great. But it also means you've got a chance for losses. Investments inherently come with both of those. Chance for growth, great. Chance for losses. That's why I say annuities are not investments, and they're not. You're purchasing an annuity. You're purchasing a product. You're not making an investment. Even if you're in one of these that's linked to an external index, you heard how I said that. It's an external index. They're not actually investing in that index. They're paying you based on what that index does. So that's why I say it's not an investment, because there's no chance for losses. You're actually purchasing an annuity. You're not investing in one.
Great subject. And we'll continue the conversation with Chapter 9. We'll actually talk about some of the stories that Tim shares in his book. I want to thank Tim for sharing and taking time to discuss his expertise. Thanks for being here, Tim.
Thank you, Doug. Appreciate it.
Thanks again. And stay tuned to Safe Money Retirement Radio for more interviews about other chapters in Tim's book. And don't forget to request your own free copy of Tim's book, Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success. Just head over to safemoneyretirement.com or call 844-905-SAFE.
Are you ready to step away from all of the risks and have your own safe money retirement? A copy of my book can help be a roadmap to get you there. Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success was written to help educate soon-to-be retirees or current retirees about what their options really are in retirement. Options for gains with no losses, options for income that you cannot outlive or your spouse can't outlive. You need to know what your options really are and how you can work with a certified financial fiduciary to make sure that you are in the best option. And my book can help. I will give you a copy absolutely free. Just give us a call, 844-905-SAFE. That's 844-905-7233. Or just log right onto our website at safemoneyretirement.com and register for your free book right now. Well, I'm about out of time, and I would like to thank you for listening to Safe Money Retirement Radio. If you're serious about your financial future, give me a call, and together we'll get your retirement savings on the fast track to accumulate while reducing exposure to market risk. Thanks for listening, and until next time at the same time, I'm Tim Wood, reminding you to stay safe so you can step into a secure future.
You've been listening to Safe Money Retirement Radio with your host, Tim Wood. Find out how to guarantee that your hard-earned money is safe with locked-in returns that will never go down due to market risk, so you can have the future that you deserve. Call Tim Wood now for your free copy of his #1 best-selling book, Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success, along with the free Safe Money Retirement Information Kit at 844-905-SAFE. That's 844-905-7233. Or visit him online for more details at safemoneyretirement.com. Have you recently changed jobs and now you have a 401k or another retirement account you don't want to expose to the risk of market loss? You have worked too hard to leave your retirement to chance. Since you will probably start another retirement account at your new job, why not ensure your old account provides you principal protection, the opportunity to participate in the market with locked-in accumulation, and a guaranteed lifetime income? We can help you roll over the retirement account from your previous employer and identify products that provide the potential of index-linked credited interest while limiting market risk. Did you know that if you're age 59 and a half, you may be able to move money out of your employer plan even if you're still working there? Call us now and ask about bonus options on your retirement money with a fixed indexed annuity. Imagine putting your money on an elevator that only goes up. It might stop on a few floors along the way when the market index goes down, but you won't go back to visit the lower floors. Our phone number is 844-905-SAFE. That's 844-905-7233. You can get your complimentary Safe Money Retirement Information Kit by calling us now. That number again is 844-905-SAFE. That's 844-905-7233. The preceding information does not represent tax, legal, or investment advice. Surrender charges apply to base contracts. Optional lifetime income benefit riders are used to calculate lifetime payments only and are not available for cash surrender or in a death benefit unless specified in the annuity contract. Fees may apply. Guarantees are based on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the insurance company. No information presented today should be acted upon without meeting with a qualified and licensed professional. Obviously, by calling us now, you are just taking the first step towards protecting your retirement. It's important that you read all insurance contract disclosures carefully before making a purchase decision. Rates and returns mentioned on this program are subject to change without notice.